Hey everyone, my name is Emily Jackman. I'm a meditation teacher, a ascension guide, mentor, and a quantum channeler. I'm a single mother. I'm based in Devon, UK. And I've been on this journey for around 15 years. When I first found Bhagavad Gita, I was like, oh, okay, there's some higher conscious things out there that I could have been raised with. And there was a lot of resentment and a lot of confusion at why I wasn't given these wise ancient truths. And it really made me understand why I would be so confused in this reality. And then as I've walked my journey, and followed Vipassana for 6 years, the Buddha's teachings on meditation, I've come into my neutral 0 point field. And then I activated my abundant lifestyle by working for myself and opening a meditation business because I was like, how can I be carbon footprint free? How can I live abundantly? How can I do what I love? How can I help others? Meditation. I'm really good at meditating. I'm going to be a meditation teacher. And then a few months after I opened my studio, I began teaching online by putting my courses online. And then I began coaching people in their own spiritual service. So my idea is to follow your passion in every moment, and that is by being in the neutral space. So what I'm going to be walking you through today is the 12 keys to self-mastery, of which I've been walking for 15 years now. And obviously, I'm probably in a position that you'd love to be, self-employed, having financial freedom, doing what you love, helping people. And obviously, the main thing is enjoying yourself and your connection to source. So let's get started. So in your one-page document that you would have purchased, you will be looking at doodly doodly doo. We are going through the 12 steps. So the first key is you obviously realizing that you've got a choice to love yourself. So in those moments when you're absolutely down, that's what we kind of call a breakdown to a breakthrough. So you really realize that you've got a desire to love yourself, because if you don't do something to change, you will ultimately end up being in a really self-destructive point of view, right? We've all been there. So the first stage is obviously the desire to love yourself. And that's when you begin to realize that every single breakdown is to ultimately get to a breakthrough. So you're probably sat there and you're thinking, okay, well, I really want to meditate. And why is that happening? Why am I getting called to do something to change my life? And that's because your soul is saying it's time to activate. It's time to have a new chapter. And every single moment that you're alive is a new chapter. You just think about how the earth like moves, and just every split second, the sun is, you know, apparently moving in the sky, but it's not. The sun is, we can perceive that it's changing. So we go through these different chapters in our life. And the first way to penetrate any new experience for your ascension, for your self-mastery, is to realize that every single moment is going to be a new chapter. So using these 12 keys, you'll always start at the desire to love yourself more. You'll always start there. So whether you say, I want to set up a business, that's because you've got a desire to love yourself more. Whether you say, I want to leave this relationship, that's because you've got a desire to love yourself more. It's always that. And you might say, I want to start a new business. And then you start going down a road where you're following your passion in that moment. And you're like, this is amazing. I love myself, but it might not be fulfilling you so much. And you might go to key 2, key 3, and then you might say, oh, I'm actually more excited to do something else. And then you'd go back to this awareness that you desire to love yourself more. So although you might perceive it and go, oh, it didn't work out how I wanted it to on that first initial breakthrough, and you might feel like you've had another breakdown, you'll go back and say, oh, that breakdown was another breakthrough. Get it? So every single moment of your life now, perceive that challenges, obstacles, struggles, they're always an opportunity to love yourself more, which already opens you up to being the master that you came to be, to always hold yourself in presence, that the only time to change is now. But then realizing that every single moment is just an opportunity to love yourself. You're like, what do I want to change about that? This experience is great. Every single moment is an opportunity to love myself. Okay. and you start embracing the now, coming into the now, and realizing that you do have limitless, let's switch that off, that you do have limitless moments for breakthroughs, which is in the only moment of now. Okay. So the reason that you're here, the fact that you're here doing this, is because you're on the self of mastery, is self-enlightenment, the path of creator, realizing that you are source and embodying that, living that truth, sharing it with others. So perceive that everything in your life up until this point has been perfect because you got here. Okay, so all those breakdowns were to get you to have this beautiful breakthrough, that this is your path, to declare it to yourself, to say that this moment now is always mine, because I always want to see that it's an opportunity to love myself. Okay, in loving yourself, you get to love all others because you realize that you're all one. So if you do something good for yourself, you're activating and you're inspiring and empowering other people to do things that are right for them. So this only moment of now to love thyself is to help all other beings realize that this only moment of now is also an opportunity to love themselves. Okay, that's key number one. So the perception with that key is to perceive in the now any higher options available to love and to take them. So that's limitless, isn't it? Like, that's literally limitless. Like, how can you not perceive any higher option available to love yourself and to take them? You know, you might be making a cup of tea and you're just rushing through it, and instead you're like, I have this moment just to love myself. This is the only reason I'm here. I'm going to love myself. I'm going to love this tea. I'm going to stir it slower. Wow. I just used an opportunity that could have been a breakdown to say, I'm so ungrateful for this tea. I don't even know what this water's made of, crystalline plasma. I'm not observing anything. Oh, rather than judge myself on what I'm not doing, this is an opportunity to love myself. I'm going to break down to break through. Okay. So obviously we always descend to ascend. So you're going to use every single moment to perceive higher options available to love yourself and take them. And this, obviously, as I'm saying, this is an all-encompassing pathway of self-mastery. So this is applicable to the smallest to the highest. You might say, okay, in this moment, what is the highest option available to me to love myself? Okay, well, I'm going to freaking meditate my ass off. Or you might say, my highest option feels like having a cigarette. You might feel that way. As long as you're saying to yourself, this is my highest option available to me now. I'm aware that this universe and this lifetime is to be aware that there's opportunities to love myself. That's cool. You do whatever you need to do, but you channel this awareness into it to open yourself up to say, even if I'm going for a cigarette or drinking a coffee, I'm aware of what I'm doing is the option to me that I feel I can love myself. And then you're already getting into not judging what you're doing, and you're actually following your passion, which is the goal. Okay. So, you know, obviously this is a brief run through because this is a 12 key program that I run. So these are going to be short segments, hopefully just break through your neural pathways. You understand the one pager to be able to always navigate from this one page, any situation, lower or higher, of your fractal, of your whole view of reality. Use it from the smallest to the highest, the desire to love yourself more. Key 2 is, once you're in that position, then you're kind of realizing you've actually got limitless choice. So the illusion kind of falls away, because when you realize that you're in the now, when you had that moment of saying, wow, this opportunity right now is for me to love myself, you're like, oh, that's been there always. I've always had the now. I mean, I've always had the opportunity to love myself more. So the illusion falls away of I blame, shame, guilt, all of that. It's like, whoa, I just didn't realize that this life in the now was me to love myself. I thought it was to satisfy them, or to do that, or to gain success in these external world, in these external ways for others because of social conditioning and all this whole big storyline of reality. But it's not. It's just to love yourself. Yeah. So then you realize that you have limitless choice, always have done, but then you're in this like place within yourself going, okay, so if it is just to love myself, I have limitless choice of how to do that, because I literally am perceiving from within that I could just stir the tea slower. And I haven't got to get some successful career to make me love myself. Like, oh, how can I love myself the most? What's the highest, the thing I can love the most? Save the world. Nope. It's in this now moment. So in this now moment, you have limitless. You could love your breath. You could say, wow, I get to breathe. Wow, I get to see. Wow. And everything is anchored in your frequency of, wait a minute, I have limitless choice available to me to change my thought in this moment, to change my belief, to change my actions, to do something that I could show that I love myself more than the last now. Limitless. And now you realize you're on this trajectory of constantly following your passion, of enjoying the moment, because you realize the opportunity is to love yourself, and you realize you have a choice to do that. And there's no one saying you can't, because even if someone says, I always say to people, if a gun was held to my head, they go, you better be scared. And I say, well, I believe in the afterlife, but it's my choice, obviously, if I'm scared or not. I have the power to choose the limitless feelings I want to experience. But let's just say you're you're trapped in a awkward situation, you're in a situation where it's a bit negative, you've got a choice within you to say, this is an opportunity to love myself more. So you can get out of any situation, any illusion, because you're beginning to do the driving force from within. It's all from within. So you start self-generating love and self-activating the sense of limitless choice. And you're going on this like finer detail, this kind of inner journey now, where you're realizing that it's not an external one. It's not about what you can do. It's about what within you choose to experience for yourself. You choose to navigate reality from within, to experience the truth that you have a choice of how you feel, rather than the social conditioning of happy or sad. Did you get it or did you not? Oh, I got an opportunity to love myself. That's what I got. Yeah, so you can choose to drink the water nicer. You can choose to listen to the music and say how sweet it was. You can choose, even if there's like a song, you're like, oh, this is such deep conditioning programming in the old paradigm illusion. My God, you can say, wow, isn't it wonderful that music was created? So number 2 is you always have a choice. So you can get out of the way of going, I don't, you're like, I do. I have to bring it down into the body, come down a bit smaller, rather than this big thing, like, oh, this big reality I've got to like perceive. No, you've got to perceive the now, what you're experiencing. Your experience of life is from within this holographic vessel. This is your experience. So you get to choose anything. If someone's saying something that you just wish you wish they'd awaken, you wish they understood, you've got a choice to say, I'm glad they're here. At least I'm glad they're here. I'm glad we're doing this. You just choose. So you're consistently upgrading your awareness of the limitless choice that you do have and is available, but that your choice is based on loving yourself more. So therefore, why would you choose to have a thought, to align to a thought that was a lower one about anything, anyone, or yourself? So the perspective, the task on this is perceive how limitless your inner choice is and explore it. The path of being a human is fun. Now you're getting it. It's actually fun to explore the choices you have, the words you want to use, the way you say it, pace. Yeah. How do you want to move? It's your choice. You can rush to the shop, or you can walk slowly. It's that foundational. It's that beautiful. It's that simple. The master's path is simple. They always say, what does the enlightened master do the day after? Same stuff they've done the day before. It's an inner perspective of who you are that then navigates and drives your life. So you've got to start exploring that. Okay. Key 3, then it's excitement. You're excited. You're like, awareness of the present moment choice allows euphoric excitement in. You're like breaking your neural pathways. Are like, whoa, they're buzzing. They're completely breaking down the old. So your neural pathways right now, let's say you've got a thought, you had the desire to hate yourself. So this one that's, you've said that loads and loads of time, because it's like an illusionary, we'll call it third density, but I'm kind of moving away from that if you're not aware of that. But the idea that we're all separate, the idea there's only a physical reality, the idea that you are here to perform within a system that someone else created, that The idea that you don't have a choice of who you are, what to do, what you feel, what you believe, and that everything is just programmed and you've got a set path that others decide for you. All that, yeah, your neural pathway is very strong because you've fought that so many times. It's like a big highway. But then when you've done that desire to love yourself, you've started rebuilding, you've started activating and opening this dormant neural pathway that said, maybe I'm just here to love myself, and that would make the world a better place. And it gets stronger and stronger. And then activating that you've got a choice, then it's like activating even bigger. So this one's getting bigger. So you're not using this one as much. So this gets thinner and thinner, and your current, let's say your electric current, is just navigating to this new neural pathway. You're not actually trying to do it. You've actually embodied this through your meditation practice. I've got a choice. So this neural pathway becomes your new you. You're not then trying to have a choice. You've like, I always have a choice. And you are that then. So then the excitement builds within your body. Like, oh my God, I realize I always have a choice. This is so empowering. I'm literally never without a choice. Even if you lock me in a room, throw away the key, I've got a choice of how to say, wonderful silence. I can meditate my whole life. Oh, it's lovely. So you're excited that you can never, ever, ever be controlled by someone else's perspective on you again. You can never experience the judgment. You can never experience the shame someone else wants to put on you, because you're like, I have a choice. I can say that person must be very hurting to want to bring that negativity my way. I wish them luck. I really wish them loads of love, because they always have a choice to love themselves. Right now, what they're saying to me doesn't feel they love themselves, because if they're focusing on saying something negative to me, they're really losing the now to love themselves. They must know that they don't have a choice. Oh, so exciting. So exciting being the master. Okay. So you become excited, you start feeling excited. Your neural pathways, your awareness of yourself is like, oh my God, I could do anything. I can really be excited, because then you realize that you can generate your own excitement through knowing that you've got limitless choice and that you want to love yourself, because it's limitless. Loving yourself is limitless. Choice is limitless. Excitement, whoa. Yeah, you get really excited over the profundity of the simplicity of the experience of excitement being self-generated rather than needing someone to give you something. Yeah, it's all within. So the perspective on that is perceive how self-generated excitement feels. Yeah, it's totally different to the old paradigm. You're excited because there's a party coming. You're excited because you've got a new car. No, you're excited because you have limitless choice and you know you want to love yourself. That's why you're excited. At that point, you're like, I'm not in the illusion. I'm not only in my fear, pains, and frustrations and my suffering. Oh my goodness, I actually done it. I actually got to the position where I could generate my own excitement for just being here, because I no longer feel like I'm actually stuck in a maintained belief system that someone else gave me. Whoa, that's exciting. Because then you realize all the things that you didn't think you could do, you now can perceive that are possible. So you're not limited, you're limitless, and you're like, this actually doesn't have an ending. And you're like, that's so exciting. Okay, I want to be here now. Okay, and you drop all of the this is so hard. You're like, this is actually just exciting now. Okay, because it becomes a little bit of a playful game. Okay, key 4 is cellular sensation. So once you've started self-generating excitement, you actually start feeling how excitement feels inside, and it's we call it vibration, because once you let's just say you study the cell is made of energy, which is light, and space, which is quantum. We'll call it quantum space. So picture a cell, and then in the center there's a peanut, but then that peanut is in a basket, is in a baseball stadium, picture that, or a football stadium. And at the outside of the football stadium, if that was a sphere, would be the outside where the electrons and protons would be in one cell, and the nuclei, which is the light, which is the energy of your cells, is the peanut. That's 99.99% space, quantum space, that you're made of, and the energy, which is light forms in your body, is the matter. So you're not even physical. You're not even physical. What you're looking at right now, you're not even physical. So when you're generating excitement, these cells, these energy forms are actually vibrating. So when you're in a lower thought stream or a lower belief, they're like, oh God, oh my God, we're so stuck in this illusion that I'm not light. Like, oh, I am John and I work here and I have 4 kids and I've got to do this and I've been told this by my mother. These energy particles in this space within you is going, what? That's not what I am. And it feels depressed. It feels low because it's like, I know what I am. I'm light, because these things are what they are. Yeah. So we're going, oh, that's my foot, that's my hand, that's my finger. And the body feels low because the body is made of energy and space. And it's saying, I'm not that, man. Why do you keep calling me all these labels? I am not that. And guess what? When you call me that, I feel freaking sludgy because I can't express myself. Okay, so when you move into this excitement stage of opening up your neural pathways and your excitement for being here because you're realizing you're more limitless than you first perceived, your cells actually become anchored and show you the exact truth of what you are and what you perceive can be one, right? So your cellular vibration, when you're saying excited, goes yippee, yay, good, because that's what I am, and you're allowing me to be free. So as you start experiencing the excitement feels good, and excitement feels lighter, and excitement feels faster, and you're like full of like endorphins, and you're like, I'm actually excited to be here. You start realizing, obviously in your meditation practice, when you meditate, you actually experience the vibration. So currently, if you obviously are meditating, you'll be feeling that as a sensation. And with some of my programs, or with all my programs, obviously we go through the meditations. You actually learn how to do these things step by step within the body, etheric as well, but within the body. So when you're excited, you'll feel this, and you might label it excitement, or you might label it vibration, you might label it cellular, you might label it energy, you might label it spaciousness. But what it is that it's the alignment of your inner perspective with your physical matter aligning to experience more truth of what they are. And more truth feels better. So if you like, let's say, can you drive? Yes. You know, it's just true. It's a fact. So your body's aligned with it. If I go, do you think you're the best at driving? It's like a bit conflicting. Like, well, who against what compared to what? And the body feels low because it's going, I don't understand the question. Like, it's not very clear. But it's also confusing the cells and confusing your mind. So you feel confused. So if you think about like mass paradigm where they confuse you with a lot of opinions, it's to literally confuse your body and your mind to not align to a higher truth, but also to an aligned truth. It feels good when you've got an opinion that you fully believe. That's why there's no opinion that can be wrong or judged on the self-mastery path, because as long as someone feels aligned in their beliefs in their body, they can be the fastest car driver, they can be the fastest seed planter, they can do anything that they're passionate about, because at least their alignment will be at least their vibration and their thoughts will be aligned. It's when there's confusion over what you want to do that your cells are like, oh God, I don't know what I am, because she doesn't know what she is and they don't know what they are, and they're listening to them and they're picking up on all the energy of everyone else, so they can't be anchored in your body. They're like they're trying to be in too many places at once. And that's obviously why we say go within, focus on that you're here to love yourself, and all these stuff just to bring it in so that your cells and your thoughts and beliefs all align to the same truth. Now, what will this really mean? It will mean that you'll realize that you are just cells, you are just a vibration, you are not physical. You're not physical. So when you're like, I'm not even physical, that's when you're like, this is just getting really, really trippy. Like, I'm a master because I realize I'm not physical. So no one can even do anything to me because I am just a vibration of light and energy. This is so cool. Plus, when you meditate, you go within, you realize how spacious you are. And you're like, I'm not even a thing. Like, I'm space. Yeah, you breathe in, you realize you just made a space. But you'll start feeling your vibration and noticing when things are coming in to affect it, and noticing when things are around you that feel good. So you can follow your passion more aligned because you're aware of the truth of the like scientific, let's say, quantum physics of what you are, with your belief of what you are, matched with the sensation of it both coming together, and it feels good. So therefore you're happy with your higher truth. You're happy to say, I'm quantum energy and light. It feels more true. And until you say that, until you want to say that, you're basically aligning to a lower truth because you're saying, I'm Emily. And the body goes, oh, fucking hell, is that all? You're Emily. What does that mean? It's so conceptual. Who is Emily? What do my cells have to try and perceive to be Emily? What do they have to do to be Emily? Like, can I just say I'm quantum energy? I'm quantum space and energy. I'm like, yeah, just say that. It's easier. It's a higher truth, but it's more simple. So the master understands you've got to say a higher truth because it's more simple. The illusion is saying the lower truths, and it feels like you've got to be in this realm where you're deciphering and debating. I got an opinion. I think this, and I done this when I was 10, and all this comparison competition confuses the cells because the cells are like, that was 10 years ago. Like, I was still quantum energy, quantum space and energy then. Can we just align to that so that we all can align to a unified experience? And it's more true. Okay, so you'll feel your cellular sensation. So the perception on this is perceive the difference in your body when viewing others and items as cellular vibrational energy forms. So now that you realize that you are made of energy and space, look around everything else because it's all made of the same stuff. Look at something near you, like the table, be like, that also is energy and light. It's really trippy. But rather than calling it a table, I now feel more aligned to it, more unified, more cool, more relaxed, more peaceful, more excited that I'm surrounded by loads of stuff that's energy and light, rather than going, oh, my house, the bills, the da 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 da. Yeah, just lovely. Yeah. So you'll feel the cellular sensation when aligning to that higher truth. We're made of atomic vibrational cells that are space and light, but so is everything else. Okay, that's key 4. Key 5, you'll notice now that you're in a reality of light. So just like we said, that from the epiphany of knowing yourself as a cellular vibration, you then rationalize the composition of a cell where you, okay, I got a little bit ahead there. Oh, you're probably like, that was quite much. Okay, so like, yeah, okay, cool. So key 4 at that point, you'll more be perceiving the difference between dense and higher vibrational sensations. So key 4, let's put that, because key 4 and key 5, I know they're a bit merged. So key 4, cellular sensation, you'll be aware when things are feeling denser, when they're negative, when they're lower, should I say, and you'll feel aware when they're higher. So someone goes, you want to get coffee, you'll be like, and you can perceive how you feel as a vibration. You can be like, does that feel exciting? Or do I feel like weird about it? If I feel weird about it, you can perceive it and go, no, I'm all right, thanks. Or if it's like, oh, I feel excited by that. Oh yeah, definitely. It means it's aligned. Your intuition, your subatomic field will be guiding you where to go. And then key 5 is reflecting that your entire, okay, key 5 is reflecting on what we kind of touched on before, that your whole reality is based on that. Okay, so you're living in a reality of space and light. Okay, so key 4, you're feeling your vibration. You're like, oh, what is this? Like when something feels good in my body because I'm excited, I can feel something happening. I can feel like, ooh, 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 ooh. And then key 5 is when you're like, oh my goodness, I'm in a whole world of this vibration. I'm in this whole reality that's made of space and light. So I'm in a light reality. I'm in a reality made of light. I'm not in a physical reality. I'm in a reality made of specks of light held within a space with more specks of light around them. And this is all to help your neural pathways. Your neural pathways, once you rationalize these quantum physics, you'll be like, I'm not arguing with it. Your ego doesn't argue. This is the path of a master, that the ego comes with you because the ego is understanding that you've gone through a systematic formula that is undeniable. So your ego's not going, are you sure? Are you sure you're made of light? You're like, yeah. If I don't believe in physics, then I like, goodness knows where you're at. But the path of master embraces all. So it's like, wow, I'm going to use that to support my claim and see how I feel on the inside. So you're merging an external proof system, an external structure to help your ego rationalize it, because obviously your ego wants facts. Yeah, I'm factually made of energy. Yeah, I'm factually made of light. And therefore physicality to me is non-physicality, because physicality means atomic structures of vibrations, which are space and light, that fluctuate between how they exchange and co-create with one another. So I'm in a non-physical reality with the label of physicality meaning non-physical to me. Therefore, the whole reality can be observed as a light reality. So juicy, right? Gets deeper. So now perceive the task with this is perceive everyday items and all other beings as the space and light molecules. You're interacting as an energetic being with other energetic beings and items. Yeah. You're an energy. So you having the excitement to be here, you penetrating your field through excitement allows other people to pick up on your excitement that you're actually happy to be here. That would open up manifestations of like co-creating, exchanging, people working with you, calling in the right partners, calling in the right friends, because you're perceiving that this is an energetic reality. And it's not like, I've got high energy because I've gone to the gym. It's like, if you perceive from the inside what you are, you're going to have high energy than go and do an exercise. You're actually infiltrating the awareness of the energy. You're co-creating with the energy. The energy within your cell is your DNA. You're co-creating with the DNA. As the DNA is the receiver and transmitter of energies, but you are energy. So it's like this thing where you're like, I'm not conceptualizing my enlightenment process or my enlightenment embodiment. I am it. So all philosophies, all spiritual enlightenment texts make us feel like we are conceptualizing it up until a point where we're ready to embody it. Yeah. And this obviously is your point where you're ready to embody it, because you're like, I don't want to conceptualize the now. I realized that it's now, but now I want to be in the now. And how can I be in the now? And it's through this process. It's following your passion in the now, realizing that you've got all these choices. Yeah. But this is that deeper truth, that quantum physics. You are now excited because you are in a dimension of non-physicality, which is made of space and light, and all other things in it are. And you're like, I didn't even smoke nothing to think of that. I don't smoke anything, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that's really cool. I'm even more excited now. What's next? Key number 6. All is one. So this will help you navigate, let's say, a more global narrative. All is one. So surrendering to the truth of quantum physics then upgrade you to see all perspectives as alternative versions of your own inner truths. So you see, if you're seeing something that you perceive as negative in the external world, if you're placing your awareness on it, you don't have to. If you're placing your awareness on something negative, that is only a perspective of energy and light. So we're now stepping into the role of mastery to say that there's not like this dark v light thing. There's lower and higher amounts of light, but it's all light. So if you're perceiving someone that's like your mortal enemy, let's say, but you're looking at them now going, they're not aligning to the reality where they're here to love themselves more. They're aligning to reality where they're trying to cause confusion and choicelessness to other beings that believe them more than loving themselves. They're trying to confuse people. They're trying to offer them the opportunity to follow what they want rather than aligning to a path where they could love themselves and make the world a better place, higher source, light experience. So they're trying to take away the freedom of choice. They're trying to offer the perspective that you don't have a choice. So therefore you're looking at them going, that's not exciting to me. Yeah, you're going through the keys. Yeah, you're going, that's not exciting to me. No wonder no one feels excited by what they're saying. No wonder they're in fear because they feel like they haven't got a choice. And then you're noticing your cellular vibration lowering because you're observing them. You're like, oof, this feels dense. But then you look at them, you go, but this is just an aspect of light. So I don't really need to judge it. What I need to do is realize that this is me within observing them in that way. I am looking at them and observing them with a higher perspective, but they too are just a light being. And in theory, through our judgment, you can say they're a lower version of a light being, meaning they're the dark. But really, you could also perceive it and say, wow, this being is really activating me to hold space, that they're just a light being. Therefore, I'm bringing them into the oneness. But then when those like lower versions of yourself come up, where, oh, I judge myself, oh, I don't like that person, I don't like this, oh, I done it wrong. Surely that part of you is a lower version of your highest truth of light. So then you can take the inner workings of your lowest perspective of you and perceive that. If you can perceive it within yourself, then that's probably the only reason you're actually able to perceive in them. So if you actually work on the perception of yourself from within, to say, I'm made of light, 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 the highest light, I'm just light. What does light do? And you conceptualize what light does to you, but then once you actually meditate and feel what is light's purpose here, what is light's goal of being here in this physical form, because these fractals of light could fly off somewhere else. How's light even held in this body? And it's through soul channeling a choice. It's a belief that you do want to be here, because innately there's so many things on it, but if you don't believe you want to be here, your body will slowly close down, because your cells are like, I'll just do what you are like. Okay, let's go. Yeah. So then by you internalizing your perspective of external negativity, if you actually balance that and alchemize that within, if you find it unable to perceive negativity within your own self, how would you even see them as it? If you give yourself the perspective of all is one, this is beautiful, this experience. I see the dark within me, I see the light, but I see it all as light. I love it all. I'm able to love it. Obviously, it's deeper teachings we've got to go into, but hopefully you can just grasp it on for an embodiment process of what would happen. Is that you would only be able to perceive them, let's say this darkness in the universe, through wherever you're at on your embodiment process. So if you alchemize everything within yourself and pulled it all into your heart and said, I am made of light, I'm pure love light, I'm literally the light of this universe, you then, your energy and your vibrational field is pouring that out and is only able to kind of see through that lens, where then you can't perceive it as darkness. So you're already perceiving it as a beautiful obstacle into an opportunity, a breakdown to a breakthrough. You're already like wired in this like beautiful way. But then you realize that the darkness within you was the only thing that allowed you to be able to alchemize, to see both sides, to then want to walk this journey. Like if you didn't have suffering, why would you even try and be enlightened? The only reason enlightenment exists is because suffering exists. The only reason suffering exists is because we self-generated it from going into a reality where we felt that there was alternative purposes to life, which were beautiful, because we then got to have both sides and the contrast to then walk back to the enlightenment process. Yeah, so all is one is about once you have become and sit and become the master of your own in self, you're not going to be judging the external. Oh, that's wrong, that's wrong. Well, the only reason you're able to even perceive the concept of wrong is because you must generate it from within, because you must believe something is wrong within you. If you then go into yourself and perceive there's nothing wrong with you because you're made of energy light, how could you even look around and see wrongness in any energy and light? Oh, it must be perfect. Must be perfect. I'm perfect. I'm energy and light expressing itself in the only moment of now, purely excited to be here as a vibration of love light on the mission to love thyself more, make the world a better place. They must be too, in their own unique way. In their own unique way. So you can look at any darkness, anything there, but how can you say that, Emily? How can you say they help? You go, well, maybe their oppression upon the human species allowed the human species to activate and rise themselves back to the path of enlightenment, because they said, this doesn't feel good anymore. How do we get out of this? And you understand this big cyclical loop, yeah, over the infinity, you can say, yeah. One creates the other. Dualistic reality, you need both to contrast, to experience. But trust me, in your past lives, you've done the other one. But in this life, you're here now. You're here to alchemize both, because you're here to say you love all aspects of it. You're not here to say, oh, I'm source creator and I know what's right and wrong. Source creator created everything. Source creator created everything, but without the view of judgment, because they're just creating. You don't say to a child, if they created like a thing, oh, that's wrong, you didn't make it right. So there was no right or wrong. It was a creation. But your perspective here is to alchemize that if the only way that you're able to judge another is by perceiving that still exists within you. So by walking the master's path, you alchemize what's within yourself. You're unable to see it outside. And that's how you change the world. That's how you live in an enlightened ecosystem of oneness. because you're grateful for whatever anyone's doing, because you perceive that they are doing it for the greater good. You perceive they're doing it to be on the path of enlightenment, wherever they're at, higher or lower. You perceive, oh, I used to do that. I used to hate myself and cause oppression to others by manipulating them, by judging them, by putting them down. I used to do that. And we all did. Yeah, we all did. But you can see it from this new eyes and go, oh, the reason I did that was because I didn't love myself and didn't think I had a choice what to do. So I was programmed. I wasn't excited about it, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Cool. So the task on that, perceive reality now through one view, which is source view, but your one view that you come, the highest view you could possibly get yourself to, the one view where all beliefs, actions, moments, and beings are simply at lower and higher stages of the same truth, an enlightened truth. Experience oneness and place yourself within it from your own embodied and experiential view. You're only here to have your view. Yeah, if you want to talk about other people, go and look at the perspective of an ant and be an enlightened master. Go and sit and say, I'm the perspective of a bee. Don't sit there and say, I'm a perspective of this proper, horrible, judgmental, oppressive guy, and I'm just going to get worked up and get in their energy field. You could sit there and have the opinion of anyone for the rest of your life. You could be a right gossip. Oh, what about them? What about them? What about the perspective of water? What about the perspective of a tree? What about the perspective of a blade of grass? But the point is that you're here to get your own perspective for your own experiential truth. What the Buddha said, he said, don't trust me that this works. Don't trust me in enlightenment. Go on the path yourself. Don't just trust it because I'm saying it. You've got to go on the path yourself. So you've got to do this brain surgery yourself. Obviously, with my other programs, actually coach you through it. Yeah, coach you through this. We do the meditations. You have the Q&A. You have the coaching. You put your specific point in it and actually like birth your new worth. Yeah. But through this is for you to be like, oh, okay, I see. I can only perceive what's outside from within. So if you don't believe in oneness, you still believe in separation, you still believe there's a good guy and a bad guy. That's because you feel something within yourself. You feel like there's some fear in there that someone could do something to you. But if you perceive that you're here just to love yourself and everyone's here to love themselves, you'd never feel that way. You'd perceive that they're there to love themselves, but they don't yet. They're trying to get love in an oppressive way. You see, it's all to be shifted. The whole perspective of the meaning of life, the purpose of life, your values, your beliefs. But from the very beginning of the path, you're here to love. You're here to love. So if you don't believe that first point, you're here to love, you'd still be going around like, yeah, well, he doesn't love though. What? No. Brain surgery, all are here to love. Oh, he loves. But in this lower version, all is one. Beautiful. No judgment. No fear. Beautiful. So key 7, you're loving this. I really hope you're getting a lot from this. Key 7, self-enlightenment. So you'll come to this position where you're oneness, lovely. But then you go on this resentment of not being told these truths before, yeah? And this is time to activate the master within you to celebrate that this was you that found this truth. Yeah, and the matrix programming was to provide you with this self-enlightenment process. So rather than that, you'll go into this thing and you'll go, oh, it's so beautiful. Wow, I cannot judge that person because I don't judge myself. It's amazing. Then you go, your ego goes, you weren't told this before. They kept it from you. This is a big secret. They're trying to control you. Oh my God, your whole life's been a waste of time. None of it makes any sense. It's pointless. Generational trauma. You know what they did to them. You're able to be limitless, have limitless choice. All the choices that were put on us. You're going to go school, go this. So limited. So limited. What you can do for work. You can have one partner. You can have this. You can only live here. You've got to have passport to travel. All these like limitations on limitlessness. And resentment can arise. Yeah, anger, confusion, conflict. You want to do something about it. But this is the time to activate key 7. Self-enlightenment. The whole creation was to allow you to have your own experience where you figured it out. You, right there, listening to this, you figured it out. You didn't go along with the conditioning. You wanted to break free of the shackles. At some point, you were like, oh, this doesn't feel right. If the shackles hadn't put on, you'd never get to experience the sensation of pulling them off. What is at the beginning? Breakdown's the breakthrough. You know how good it feels when you break through something, but you've got to break down first. So it's like even a lot of this entire species conditioning, programming, enslavement. You're like, well, if we all could break free, that's a freaking great game. It's a prison break, yeah? It's a cold, huge prison break. But it's like, who built the prison? And you're just like, oh, well, it's all energy. So was it some version of me in the past? Did the energy that's within my body, let's just say like Big Bang Theory, 13.9 billion years old energy, the water within our body is the same that was them. The oxygen and stuff, like I can't remember, it was phosphates of the elements that are within our body were created 13.9 billion years ago, the same one. So you're not 30, you're not 40, you're 13.9 billion years old. That's how old you are right now. So is there an aspect of you before, because this energy doesn't get created, destroyed, it just transforms. So is there an element of you in the past, in the Egyptian times, that was there, that was one of the pharaohs that created the bond and the enslavement process? Did one of you write the Bible that had all these conditionings in? And then your energy got transformed into wanting, to say this game wasn't that fun, I'm going to go there in 2021 and I'm going to play a new game where I create this like money driven society, and I maintain it, should I say, I maintain the system until one moment I go, didn't like that game anymore I was playing, I don't want to play anymore, I want to play a new one. So it's self-enlightenment. You've got to be on the path of self-enlightenment. You don't, the whole idea of conditioning, if you're against it, you're going to be like, well, I wish someone taught me about enlightenment. It's like, so you'd rather someone condition you to be enlightened? Okay, what do you think freedom means? What do you think self-enlightenment? In light, yeah? You're in the light, you realize you're light. Oh my God, why am I? Oh, I'm light. Yeah, in light attainments, how I call enlightenment, in light attainment. Okay, so releasing and forgiving, surrendering and saying, this is my path. I don't want anyone to tell me anything again that I don't aspire to experience myself. I will hold space with the highest truths, the highest teachers. I will listen as the attentive disciple to all the masters. But all they will say with every teaching that they tell me what they've experienced is they'll say, go figure it out, go and do it, follow our practices, follow our teachings, follow our trainings for yourself, because you can't get to experience that without doing it. It's not like the conditioning, here's a book, that's a tree. You don't get to feel the tree. You don't get to watch the tree grow. You're reading it in a book. Yeah. So let go of the resentment that you wish someone had told you the truth, and instead realize that the only reason they didn't in this beautiful game was the reason they didn't is because you have always had the sovereign right to know. And if you did want it, you would have found out earlier, and you didn't. And that's because this moment right now is your moment too. And then you're able to realize that everyone's going to get this moment at some point in their life. They're going to be like, this doesn't feel too good. And they're going to go, oh, what's a chakra? And they'll have that moment, and you're like, oh, now I'm observing that this reality made of light is that every single being of light is at one point going to go, what am I made of? Am I made of light? Ooh. And then you forgive yourself for not knowing before, because it's like, well, you actually wanted to have the experience where you didn't know, because like we say, break down to break through, it feels good. You're always going to have contrast in this dualistic reality. And also, even though when you ascend onto these higher realms, say that you go and start your spiritual business, you don't, oh, I'm just light and I'm just going to start a spiritual business. You're like, I'm light, starting a spiritual business. Oh my God, that's so intense. Gosh, I wish this was I wish I wasn't. I wish this was just starting a business, like go to the bank, get a loan and solve someone's problem. And you're like, no, this means more than that now. Wow, this is actually so cool. This is so intense. God. And you like fluctuate between these things, but like you're always bringing yourself up. So it's all about self-enlightenment. It's always about self-activation, self-empowerment, because you get the comfort and the reflection given from a coach. I'm the reflection for you, to be like, to put things in perspective for you. Yeah. But it won't rewire your neural pathways. You do that. And you then get to experience the bliss. You then get to experience the success, because that's the only reason you're here, to uncondition and remember what you unlearn. What you unlearn. So we're not learning, we're like unlearning what we learned, but then we're learning what we unlearning. Unlearning what we learned, but we didn't really learn it. We just forgot what we already were. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so the perception of this, perceive how you would have ever been able to experience leading your own mastery if you'd not had the contrast and experience of separation to oneness. They're like, separation was so good. I felt like no one understood me. I didn't want to be friends with anyone. I thought I'd be alone forever. And now I understand that we're all one because we're made of light. Oh my God, this is so cool. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Separation. It was great. It was dirty. I really went hard on it. I didn't love myself at all. I just had rubbish relationships. I didn't do anything to better myself. I proper went hard in separation. I was a success. I was an absolute success, as I perceive it. You came for that experience. Tick, tick, tick. Close the door, open the door to the next one, walk on through, just like next chapter. Like, I've done that one. I was really successful. I felt like shit for 30 years. Cool. What's there to discuss? I'm on to the next chapter now. It's fine. It's not like the trauma of it. It's like, oh man, that was deep. Obviously, in coaching, you go through the process of releasing your trauma, but activating more excitement that you get to experience the achievement of the purpose of that is more exciting. You're like, I done all that shit to make sure that I never wanted to shit life again. Cool. I hope this light is all right. Cool. So key 8, we're getting deeper now. Obviously I could talk about this like very, 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 very spiritually, but I hope that this short teaching training is just activating you on just human level. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're masters incarnate a source in human form. Obviously I'm channeling and from another place in the galaxy, and you got to find out where you're from. So key 8, observing the game. This is where it gets quite sacred, quite spiritual. Okay, so you've forgiven, you've surrendered, and you understand that the game is for each being to have a sovereign right to remember in their own time, okay, and their own way. But if you believe in freedom, then you too can now respect and value the game for others. Cool? We good? You there? You're like, this was my moment to awaken. You get yours. I'll focus on mine. You get yours. I'll focus on mine. I'm gonna do it. Yeah. So now you begin sitting back and observing the game unfold, knowing that every step so far is available for all. So like, anyone could have a choice at any moment if they were actually shown that they have a choice, if they were activating that they felt oppressed. And this isn't mental. Don't let your mind confuse you going, someone they don't know they have a choice. They're stuck. They're unawakened. They feel like they haven't got a choice. It's like, I know, but you know that they do. So it's your duty to look at them through that view of going, wow, they always have a choice. Beautiful. And then you kind of activate your own service to be like, I might start giving some information away about choice. You have a choice in this beautiful way because you've embodied it for yourself. Can't teach someone else until you've embodied it for yourself. Yeah, well, you can try it, but maybe it'll feel a little bit resistant because they might ask you a question and you're like, I haven't thought about that one. Yeah, whereas obviously this path, I'm fluent in it. Okay, cool. So now you begin sitting back and observing the game, knowing every step's available for all. You're becoming the watcher of life rather than the judge, the jury, and the prosecution. Woohoo! Don't have to do it anymore. Great. So you observe like watching a movie. Now, for all of you, if you're obviously on the meditation path and the path of enlightenment, you will do meditation, whatever it is, if it's dance, whatever, and you'll feel this like out of body experience where you're understanding that you're looking at the world rather than I'm in the world. Okay. So being the observer is you have like, I personally channel through soul. So my perception goes to the back and I can actually feel it moving to the back of my brain. And then soul is coming forward. So I'm observing soul. But what I mean by that in a meditative sense is that you no longer see reality, feel like you are stuck in a character. You instead are a watcher of energy unfolding in the now. Okay, so what this will sensationally feel like is that you don't need to judge it. It doesn't come into your neural pathways because you've gone through those 7 keys and you're aware this is your own mastery. And then you're kind of in this like placid, contemplative, reflective bliss, awareness that you are not here to judge what you see. You are not here to condemn what you see. You're not here to try and change what you see. You're looking through the eyes that are like this, like you know, technology, this anatomical, I can never say that word, anatomical, girl, anatomical lenses where like some energy is seen through light energy and you're looking at light energy, but you're like, who's looking at the energy? Energy? So you sit there going, why did I ever think that I was here to judge anything else? I am this. I'm a part of this. Why did I think I was judging it rather than enjoying it? Why did I feel like I wasn't a part of it and I didn't enjoy it? And you're in this like quantum soup where all your energy is flowing and exchanging and co-creating. So it's etheric. Energy is etheric. You can't see it. You can say you can see me, but it's like, well, if you can see me and I'm 99.99% space, it's like, what does that mean? It means that energy is invisible, but that it can come into manifestation through matter, through a belief that you want it to be perceived as physical. And therefore we get into manifestation, but that's a little bit later. Okay. So then you're activating that your awareness will be saying, I can observe reality from the perspective of the watcher, of the witness, as an energy viewpoint of energy. I am not here to say I, them, they, her, don't, wouldn't, can't, stop, anything. You're like, I am. I am. Okay. I am. I am it. I'm part of it. I live as it. I am it. I'm in it as it. I'm in the game and observing the game, meaning I am the game. And then you're never out of the game again. You're never out of it. You're like, this is my game. And I'm going to observe the game. That's mine. I'm going to observe what I do with it. I'm going to observe what I've done with it. I'm going to observe what I want from it. And it again activates your mastery. Because you're not judging everyone else. You're just going within. You're like, I don't need to judge you. You do that yourself. I'm here for self-mastery. Observe, observe, observe. And obviously it's adding that observing, that you're adding in the observing because you know your vibration. So you're like observing the vibration you feel. So something comes towards you. You're not like, oh, that felt horrible. I wish that person would go away. I don't want to do that. You're like, oh, I'm observing that this energy changes my energy. Oh, I'm going to alchemize that. I'm observing what I did there. If you snap at someone, oh, I just observe. You're not like, oh, I just snapped to them. I'm not a master. You're like, oh, energy just snapped. Interesting. Next moment. It's love thyself more. Oh, I'm energy and light. Oh, I choose to think of myself as energy and light. Beautiful. And you keep going through the keys, yeah? So the training on this is, the task is forgive the past and surrender to an enlightened present by holding back from judging anything, and instead hold space for everyone on their own journey. So good. Anchor a perspective where you observe your old lower vibrational thoughts as illusions and quickly let them go by observing how genius and fun the entire was, is, and will be. Okay, so you observe your old lower vibrational thoughts as illusions. So, oh, I just snapped. I'm such a bad person. That's an illusion. I'm not a person. I'm energy in space. Oh, that's so bad. Bad's an illusion. There's only light. So what's a truer observation of that rather than illusion? The energy in space held within this vessel, specific vessel, unique vessel, experienced a lower sensation of vibration. Is that quite a good observation? Is that truer? Does it feel any like judgment, guilt, blame, shame from it? Nope. This energy form, the energy, the vibration within this vessel was just lowered through the co-created exchange of other energy in space. Fascinating. Next, move on. Yes, all the labels that cause suffering, just labels. Okay. So now we're getting juicy on the path of mastery. Okay, so key 9 is neutrality. Okay, everyone, sit on the fence, be neutral. You're not saying anything. It's like, just do the first 8 keys and then talk to me about neutrality. Do you know what I'm saying, bruv? Yeah. Before then, it's not really something you can kind of get your teeth into without doing the others. Okay, so neutrality is knowing that every single perspective is as valid as the next. Cuckoo. Even your past suffering self. Cuckoo. Now, the master within you responds neutrally to external views. The master within you responds neutrally to external views. You notice that if you do, you rise to take sides and you judge, then your own vibration is affected. Okay, so being neutral to anything, because you're the observer. So I'm observing energy and space in the only unfolding moment of now. Beautiful. No judgment. So being neutral is when you genuinely have rewired your neural pathways to automatically flow in that direction. Therefore, you are the space holder. You do not perceive it as two sides. You see it as they're both valid because they're just their perspective. You're neutral. You're not actually like, well, yeah, I see what you were saying. And to be honest, like that is more fair. You're like, it's in the only moment of now, you're both having your perspectives on something. I'm neutral because if I take a third opinion, it'll be different. A fourth opinion, sixth opinion. I'll take that bug's opinion. I'll take the dog's opinion. I'll take the cat's. It's like, well, where's it get? No, like I'm neutral. I am here to hold the perspective and neutrality. One, because my vibration is affected if I start fluctuating and entertaining that there is not oneness and that separation exists to like bring some unified experience. It doesn't. Neutrality does. But neutrality isn't a concept that you try and be. It's an experience within yourself that you become. The enlightened master becomes neutral through rewiring. It's not a choice anymore. You've rewired to understand there is no other definition that you align to more than neutral, because you're only experiencing in that one moment options of the same thing, but from a different perspective. You're like, it's all one. Your conflict and your separation activates their awakening. Cool, it's all one. I'm neutral. You perceive everyone as in that flow and you want to, but you actually get there and you actually become that. And that's the master's path. You're not trying anymore. Oh, how can I help these people see in neutral? You're just like, it is neutral. Even someone saying, I'm so angry, I'm just so confused at my life and my husband and stuff. You're like, you see it as a neutral perspective because you know that that is her breakdown. It's going to get to a breakthrough. So you're already in the equanimous state of seeing from this centered point and seeing both sides. They can't see the end goal. They're seeing the only thing they can feel right now, low vibration, but you can see the high vibration that can come with that. So you're not even reacting to this or observing that there is this like moment needed for anything other than compassion, because they just can't see. They just can't see it. You can see it because you can feel it, because you're understanding that there's two sides. Yeah, I don't mean two sides, it's all sides. In the, let's say in the idea of a sphere, you're in the middle, understanding oneness, yeah, wholeness. Let's say neutrality means zero. Yeah, zero, as in zero's been meant to mean nothing. No thing doesn't exist. There is nothing that is nothing. There is no thing that can be called nothing because a thing exists. So zero means whole. Zero means everything. It doesn't mean zero means niente. There's no such thing. Wholeness, and then it's either less or more. Too much, too little. Wholeness is complete. Yeah. So you're in the middle, seeing, let's say, 360-degree view. And then they're only bringing you, he said this, she said that. And you're like, there's a 360-degree view. I'd be so ignorant to even try and discern between these two, because I know that there's 360-degree view in every single moment. But what that means in that 360-degree view is key 2, choicelessness, limitless choice. So there's limitless choice for what you can say to them. There's limitless choice for how you could react, limitless choice for what they might do in the next moment. And you don't want to be the ripple that's causing this like fluctuations in the cosmos anymore. You just want to be neutral and just being like, dude, this is the path of self-mastery. Like, get on it. I hold compassion for where you're at. But then you want to do in that moment, the best thing you can do is show them what a master would do, so that they're interested and activated. It's not like, I'm a master, by the way. What I do is neutral. You act from your self-mastery spontaneously in that moment. You're following your passion. You're it. So it's like this, like, you're not planning what's happening, but you are it. And what they're learning is they pick up on the energy. And that is your only reason for being, that hopefully, not hopefully, but ultimately someone will be picking up on your energy on their journey, and you would have impacted them with the point of their own journey to become a master that can hold space with all that is, because they realize that they are it. They're energy in space. So are they. Yeah. So neutrality is seeing that there's more opinions than the two that you're trying to decipher. If you're trying to make a decision in your business, you're like, should I do this or this? Should I coach in a group or one-on-one? It's just like, I just have to make a choice. It's just like neutral. It's like, it's all good. There's like, I could do anything. So I'm just going to follow my passion in this moment and what excites me the most. Yeah. And not judge it and be like, I know it's all good. I know whatever I do is still having this all-encompassing experience. If I can focus to be aware that that is what it is, if I want that to be what it is. If you don't want that meaning in your life, don't be here. I mean, on this webinar. If you don't want to perceive that there is everything possible for you, then, well, that's the master's path. You've got to perceive that everything's possible for you, therefore everything's possible for someone else. Therefore, if someone's asking you to make a call on their life and someone can only see one way, you're just more like, God, they can only see in one way, and you feel compassion for them, but you don't lower yourself to their ignorance. You ask them to, like, you invite them to come up to where you are at by being neutral, by not reacting. So they're just like, how is this not stressing you out? And then more interested, activated, and curious to then align to the master's principles. So yeah, receive your reactions and responses to reality. Notice how by remaining neutral, you activate others to have to either justify themselves at a deeper level. So if you say like, oh, why do you see it that way? They're like, well, this is this. He's done it 10 times to me. He always annoys me. Okay, why do you want to see it that way? Well, it's just annoying, isn't it? And you just go on this thing where you're just asking them. So then they're already becoming their teacher, and then you realize that the allness of is teach, learn. Their breakdown led to their breakthrough, but only because you remain neutral. If you start entertaining, going, yeah, you're right, he probably shouldn't because that's unkind for you, it gets them in the loop again. You've got to be neutral to be the guiding presence, to be the reflection, to allow them to have the reflection of what they can't see, just by asking the questions, to allow their consciousness, their own neural pathways, their own energy to go, stop calling me Susie that's got a shit husband. Let me be the one that goes, oh, maybe I do that because I only see him as my husband and I don't see him as a free being that can do what he wants. That's really beautiful. Yeah. Then you've got clients that come to you and ask you for these physical things, but you're offering the perspective, okay? Or they will realize that they've maintained, that their maintained programming no longer serves them. Yeah. So they'll be like, if you're not giving them anything and it's not juicy, because you're not going, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. You're going, They're like, oh, don't worry, I'm sure it'll blow over. And it works, you see? So perceive how your vibration stabilizes and you make decisions to sustain your purified mind, body, and energetic field. Once you get into that, you'll be wanting to make decisions that will keep you in neutral. You won't be like, well, you might be, it's all just fun, but I'm just saying the master's path is that you, your highest excitement is to be neutral. It's like, you're like ecstatic. You're like, oh my God, this is so good. Like you have an orgasm all the time, a bit in every cell. Yeah, it's good. So key 10, this is quite juicy, obviously it's getting deeper and deeper. Key 10 is the belief upgrade. Manifesting a reality where you only experience high vibrational creations is from now realizing you were never trying to learn to manifest. Okay, so what is manifestation? What is manifestation of a neutral reality, of a master, of an enlightened ecosystem? How do you manifest that? So the key to manifesting is you think you're trying to learn to manifest, but what you're actually trying to do is let go of the beliefs, the limiting beliefs that you aren't a manifestor. Okay, So you want peace on earth, you want an enlightened ecosystem, you want enlightened beings, you want self-mastery. So you've got to let go of the beliefs that you're not already that. This is where coaching obviously is very, very important. It's like, yeah, but I've started my business and I feel really amazing and I can help people, but no one's coming. And you're like, oh, maybe I carried a belief that I was insisting that they need to come to validate my mastery. What am I actually here for? Am I here to feel like a master within myself? So I've given myself another breakdown to have a breakthrough. I really want to manifest this dream business so that I can help everyone. Well, do you believe that you need to help everyone? Oh, breakdown, breakthrough. What beliefs hold you back and limit your manifestations from easily flowing through because you don't believe your highest truth yet? Yeah, and this is where it's just so exciting, because every single moment you're like, oh my God, I'm not trying to manifest. I'm actually trying to lose the old beliefs and the labels about me that constrict my eternal, immortal creator presence. And you realize how fun the path of self-mastery is. It's not like, must meditate to change the world, must become a master because then I can go and help loads of people and really like tell them the truth. It's like, no, I can become a master and manifest that reality when I believe that when I lose the beliefs that doesn't already exist. So do you see how it already exists if you go through this formula? Because you already perceive that every single light being is doing what's right through your perspective. If you perceive that you are here to self-love and to self-generate your own excitement and to follow your passion and to become a master, you would therefore believe that everyone else is on that path because you're only able to project the reality that you see. Therefore, instead of going, okay, I'm here to manifest the reality of that, you become that. You become that. And the ancient teachings have manifested you. But then anything stopping you from go, oh, but I've really got to change this in the world. I've really got to do this. I really want this new house. I really want that. You're like, instead of trying to get a new house and try and change the world, I've got to say within myself, what's the belief that I think that I'm trying to get? What's the belief stopping the new house coming? Is it saying that I can only have that house once I've done this? Then you come into this limitless creator being state where you're like, I am telling myself things based on the old conditioning of the illusionary reality where it's a physical, conditional, unloving, punishment, separation. Can't have house till I've done this. That's full of separation and conditions. But your energy. So does energy go, what do you perceive about energy? And you have to work with your beliefs and go, what do I actually believe about energy? And the fact is you can change your beliefs to anything. I can say I believe in that cats can fly. And then next minute later I can go, I don't believe they can fly. Beliefs are subjective and changeable. They're amazing. Their vibration, their energy. What is a thought but an invisible form of energy? What is a thought? Where is it? Can you hold it? Is it some tangible thing? So you can always change your thoughts because they're not actually things. They're just energy, let's say, like mobile phone signals. They're signals that are all around this place. And you're able to pick and choose them wherever you want. I don't know if you've ever seen that film Lucy, where all the mobile phone signals are going up and she can see them and she like deciphers through them. When I'm channeling, that's what I'm doing. I'm moving through timelines of energy. I'm moving through quantum space and pulling in energy to access it. So your beliefs are the same, but you're doing it from within. You're just like, how do I manifest a world where everyone's enlightened? Oh, be enlightened. How do I be enlightened? By losing the idea that I'm not enlightened. How do I lose the idea that I'm not enlightened? Reflect on everything. Reflect on what you believe an enlightened person would be. If there's any judgment in that, reflect on the judgment. Why do you believe that an enlightened person, why do you believe you want enlightenment if you're still judging others? And you really have to just lose the beliefs that no longer serve you, lose the beliefs that hold you back, upgrade them. And then this is where the fun comes in, because you lie in bed and you're just like, oh, like I it would be so cool if I could help someone learn to meditate, let's say. Then you go, well, why do I believe I can't? Oh, let's just say for you, maybe you teach, maybe stepping into your business. Oh, maybe I am. oh, so I could if I believed I could. So it's not that I can't or I can, it's just if I believed I could, that I would go and do something. And then you understand everything. So if you understand that one thing, you can get it. You're not trying to prove something in a physical, external, resourced way. All your job is to do is to reprogram yourself with the belief that you can, that you will, and that you have. So the fact you could say, I believe I can teach someone to meditate, it doesn't mean you've had to prove it. It means you've changed your frequency to believe you can, meaning that your new truth is that you can do it. You haven't gone to school, you haven't done a qualification, you haven't done nothing like that. You've literally just changed your belief that you can, and therefore you believe. I mean, obviously, this is a lot of work, a lot of neural programming. You know, oh, I believe I can, so I can. No, you work on yourself and you get to that state where you believe you can, but you understand it's just a belief change. But then obviously the belief allows you to channel. So once you say to the universe, I believe I can help people, I believe I can meditate, I can believe I can teach people meditation, then you've opened yourself up to the belief and the frequency, let's say the mobile phone signal, to come into you, to when that moment, in the next reality moment, when you've said, I want to do that, they help you do it. The energy, a new energy that is more aligned to that belief, aligns to your energy because it's like a magnet, so it attracts to it. So say you say, I can teach people to meditate, all the other energy forms that want to teach people to meditate go and they're magnetized to you. And then when you're coming in, you haven't learned to do it. They're offering you the right words to say to help people because they also want to experience that reality. Yeah. But then you realize that changing your belief doesn't mean anything other than you changing to believe it. And then so like that's what we mean by exponential growth, that once you realize that once, then you're like, I can just say anything, and as long as I believe it, it's my new reality truth. So say you're going, okay, I want £100,000. It's not that, and then you say, okay, I have £100,000, and then you start playing with imagination. But imagination is actually intuition to your future, to your highest creations, to your higher timelines, your higher self. Imagination is a word and a concept used for humans to relate to their intuition before they realize what it is. It's actually messages from your soul telling you what to do. So you imagine, you go, okay, well, if I imagine I can have £100,000, what would that feel like? And then you're like, oh, I'm going to say, I believe I have it. Wow. And now I've already experienced the truth that I was trying to get in the future, taken away all the house, taken away all the logic, all the rationality, and I've embraced that vibration into me. And I'm actually experiencing that truth right now. Okay. So in terms of manifesting the 100, whatever comes up to cause you resistance in your vibration when you experience that reality, if there's things coming in going, yeah, but you haven't because you didn't do this, you work on that belief, you work on releasing it and getting rid of it. And your reality is going to manifest so much faster from that method rather than trying to manifest something. Well, how am I going to do it though? I've got to get a high vibration. No. You've got to enjoy that. The only thing you have to do is notice when the beliefs come in that don't align to your highest vibrations, and then work on them, lose them. And everything else is the fun. Yeah, that's probably shifted a lot for you. Okay. And obviously we just go deeper and deeper when I coach you. Yeah. In the program, it's deeper and deeper. Like it's actually getting that out of the way and getting your manifestations. So perceive what you wish to manifest. Instead of thinking, how can you get that? Feel beliefs within you that must be let go of to allow the manifestations in. This is the art and the path of the master. Yeah. Yeah. So you're not trying to learn to manifest. You are quantum energy. You're manifested right now. You've manifested everything in your life. You are made of manifest. You manifested this physical incarnation through your soul, through energy attracting to your belief system to say, I want to be there. I want to be there for the awakening. I want to help humanity. I want to have a physical experience. I want to go through the layers of the illusion, separation to enlightenment. You've manifested it all, babe. Yeah. You manifest it all. You're now here on this next chapter of your enlightened journey to go, oh, okay, now I get to release all the beliefs that said I had to do X, Y, Z before something came in. Yeah, because you're already all that is. You're made of energy and space, meaning that you are already source. So you're losing the beliefs that you are the limited, self-created, conditioned, illusionary, smaller perspectives of what you are. That's what you're here to lose. The identity, the labels, yeah, the ID of the entity. You're already the entity. The ID is what you're here to lose. Okay. And that's oneness. That's these 12 keys. That's how you'd realize it all through that deep layered process. Yeah. Okay, so there's a lot more to it, but obviously this is just a short masterclass on the 12 keys. And I hope you'll be joining me in the program very soon, because you know it just goes deeper and deeper. And obviously each stage, each key has an activation that you'd use. You might use it every single day for 2 weeks and be like, oh, I'm there, I'm there, I'm there. With the workbooks, with the Q&A, with the channeled sessions, with the coaching, with the personal, you know, one-on-one guidance. That's how the fun. That's the fun. That's the fun. That's the juice. You know, you're here to have experiences with you're here to have experiences for your inner exploration journey. That's why you're here now. Forget saving up for a car. Manifest the car through removing the belief that you didn't have the car and that there was some thing stopping you from having a car, because your energy and the car's energy. So if you align to the idea that that car is yours, was always yours, you're going to get the car 10 times faster. And that is also more fun than going to work some job that you hate to save up for a car. Yeah. And that's what we're within now. Yeah. And let's just add on that, let's say you do want a car, but it's to help other people. The universe is going to give it to you much more faster, because if you're teaching enlightenment, they want people to teach that, and they're going to give you the resources to travel around. Okay. So that's why I want you to join the program and freaking let's change the world, but not change the world from changing anyone else, changing the world from changing our inner beliefs. Yeah. Then manifest that from our own projection of it. Okay. So key 11, bliss state. So now you're welcoming in your new reality, where any cravings and aversion to reality are known to be self-created from within. And therefore, knowing that all suffering can be eradicated from inner work of observing from neutrality. Okay. So obviously there's more on the workbook. All suffering could be eradicated from knowing that you're in the now. All suffering, you've got the path. You've literally got the path. These 11 keys up to now, yeah, you've got the path of any stage of your life. So let's use some examples. Your kids are screaming. I say your kids are screaming. Your kids are upset, and you're like, where am I on my keys? Key 1, I'm here to love myself. Okay. I'll just go straight back to number 1, because every moment's a new moment. Every moment starts there. These keys are just like, and in the program, and obviously now, I hope that you're going to use these, and they're going to be so embedded that you would always be like self-love, choice, excitement. You'd be like, self-love, I'm here to self-love. I've always got a choice. I'm always excited. Okay, I'm a vibration. Okay, everything's made of light. Okay. And you just go through within a split second, because this is the path of mastery. This is the path I've worked on 15 years. This is what I've spent over 50 grand on, understanding, embracing, absorbing. Yeah, of course it goes further. DNA activations, channeling, the quantum realms, K-star races, fine. But the path of enlightenment is so subtle and profound, but so simple. Yeah, the formula. Because you've just been looking for a formula that helps your human relate in a split second, because it is only now. And then that becomes your normal. So you just, rather than going 1, 2, 3, 4, it becomes your normal. Like, and you're all instantaneously in the vibration of bliss state. So let's say, yeah, kids are crying. He's crying. So you go, the desire to love myself. Okay, I'm here to love myself. Beautiful, beautiful beings. They're here to love themselves. Oh, maybe they don't love themselves. Maybe they perceive they don't love themselves right now. Or I don't love them something. I'm here to love myself, and you're me. So I love you. They cuddle, yeah. Limitless choice. You could do anything right now. You could shout at them, you could kiss them, you could walk away. But it's limitless, yeah. They're just like very, very limited human perspectives, yeah. But you could do anything in that moment. So don't be like, oh, the only thing I could do is just slam the door and go for a cigarette. You could just be like, I've got limitless choice available. This is insane. I could do anything right now. I'm just gonna do a funny dance. Woo! Yeah, me to love myself. What would make me feel the most loving right now? Huggy, huggy. Do whatever. Yeah, you're here to have fun. Limitless choice. Then you get excited. You're like, oh, I'm so funny. I just did a funny dance rather than walk out. How exciting of me. Oh my God, I can do anything in any moment. And children look at you now going, what's mama doing? What's auntie doing? What's the daycare? What's a friend of your mum or the friend of your dad doing? And then you feel this cellular sensation where you're like, I feel so excited, I feel so good. And you're just like, whoa, like this vibration is made of light. These kids, they're made of light. This is so exciting. And like everything starts beaming, you're a little bit psychedelic. You're like, these people are made of light. Even if they're still crying, you're just like, this sound is made of light. I'm listening to light. And they're like all one. She's just like, oh wow, the fact that they just were crying allowed me to go into my practice. Oh my god, there's no annoyance in my life ever. It's literally just this constant flow of breakdown to breakthrough, breakdown to breakthrough, mastery, 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 mastery. Thank you for crying to bring me back to my center point, to bring me back to my practice. Self-enlightenment. I'm so glad that they didn't sit there and say, oh mummy, auntie, friend, don't you know you're here to do this, this and this? I'm so glad that them crying allowed me to activate my power, my confidence, because I've got the path. So I'm like, go me. I could have been a right prick then. Could have screamed, could have shouted, because I can't be dealing with this. I don't have kids. Could have walked out, could have done anything, could have made it worse. But I didn't. I'm amazing. Key 8, observing. Whoa. I'm actually just going to sit back for a second, just observe what's going on. This energy is communicating with these energies in this whole new way, in this ever unfolding moment of now. Wow, it's just completely broken the chains of the illusion. I've just realized that I don't even have to entertain this. This is just energy that's happening. It's not actually who I am or what I am, and they're not actually who they are. I'm just labeling it. Them crying, me annoyed. Wow, I'm going to observe it as a beautiful enlightened experience. Neutral, key 9. I'm so neutral to it. I'm so neutral because really their perspective is fair, my perspective is fair. Why was I getting so worked up? Why was I even reacting to that? Hello children, how can I help? How can I serve? By offering a reflection of someone that's calm, peaceful and present. So the next time they cry, they're like, oh, maybe I remember that person was calm, peaceful and present. Key 10, the belief upgrade. If I really want to manifest a reality where I am calm, peaceful and present, I have to get rid of the belief that apparently it's stressful, apparently it's difficult, apparently I'm not a good person if I can't, I'm not a good person if the baby's crying, apparently if I do this in this situation, if a child cries, I'm going to upgrade my belief right now that I believe I do exactly what's right. I'm absolutely perfect. I no longer believe any of that. That was all an illusion. Then you'd be at number 11, you'd be in your bliss state, you'd be like, I'm a badass. I've got the keys to get through anything. Wow. And you're like, that just happened in a split moment with a child crying and saying they wanted whatever, biscuit. And you're just like, oh, the enlightened master does the same things all the day, but it's with him. Yeah. And then each time it obviously gets more and more. Okay, so bliss becomes like peak, like on the program, you're just blissed out, you're having cosmic orgasms, you're having multidimensional orgasms, but like in your whole field. So, that after orgasm phase where you're like, oh. Even me talking about this, I'm like orgasmic over it, because I know the sensations that other beings get to feel when they're in this state and have gone through this formula, because I get to feel all the time. And obviously this incorporates oneness as well, because you're like every single moment you're like, wow, I just get to feel bliss no matter what. So even if you're looking at like washing up, laundry, haven't done this, haven't done that, got loads of work on, you're not sure if you're going to fit it in, you've got a program you want to design, you're literally like, you can just go 1 to 11 and go bliss. And you don't actually go through the formula, you're just like, you're so attuned to the frequency of bliss, you're so attuned to the signal, phone signal of bliss, you're just like bliss. And the master's already there. That's the presence, that's the anchoring. And that's true of any of them. If you call in excitement, it's there. You call in to be the observer, you go to the back and soul penetrates through the eyes. Yeah, you go to neutral comes in, because it's an alive energy, it's a frequency, it's alive. You're not trying to rationalize logical, tangible things. You're made of energy, and energy is alive. If you think you're alive, then energy is alive. Yeah, if you think you're alive, then air's alive outside you, because air animates your physical body, but your physical body is non-physical, it's made of space and light. So air animates light, air animates air. What? Yeah, so you're in this what did I just say then? Just channeling myself there. I don't know what I was saying there. That was really good, but I don't know what I was saying. Not that I don't know, it's just that I was like, yeah, gone. Okay, so you experience bliss, experience absolute gratitude for having every single experience that you get to have here. Okay, and then you perceive how this is possible for every being, that it already exists within them, and you're always blissing out. You realize that you've gone on this path and you're like the fact, oh yeah, calling the stuff in. Sorry, yes, calling stuff in this split moment. You're just like boom, and then you feel it, because it's just like if I said, remember that birthday party when you felt you were crying over your boyfriend? You're yeah. Where's that memory? Like, it's the muscle memory, yeah. So once you've had that muscle memory of your bliss, it's almost like, well, yeah, I can say muscle memory, but I can also say that there was like this golden thing here with all these like light lasers coming out, and I've activated, let's just say, like the neural pathway, this big fat one for like shame, and instead I've activated bliss. Let's say that this is more like a, rather than a neural pathway in your brain, it's a neural pathway within your heart, because your heart has neural pathways, your heart has brain cells. So when we say think with your heart, we mean it. Like, this whole self-enlightenment is that you're here to get out of your head. And shall I say, okay, yeah, like the path of enlightenment, the path of masters is explaining to you that if we said you're going to move into your heart because there's brain cells there and you're going to think with your heart, you wouldn't be able to stop thinking. So instead, the master teaches, equanimous, no mind state, so that now masters such as myself can come in and go, cool, now we can upgrade the belief system, now we can upgrade the teachings, now we can upgrade the practice, because you could only see through what they were saying through the eyes of the ego anyway. But now when you can see it through the eyes of the heart, you can see what they were saying. But we were conceptualizing it, we were philosophizing it, because we couldn't see it, because we were in a denser form in the galaxy, but I won't get onto that. But we were in a more conditioned reality. And now we're not. So we can look and go, I am all that is. And you're just like, I am all that is. Why did I even conceptualize that? I'm all that is. But now you're in your heart actually activating these timelines of light. Say these neural pathways are actually light beams that are being channeled from the universe, like phone signals from other parts of the world, of the cosmos. Instead, when you're like bliss, this is activated to like kind of receive more bliss from these etheric realms, almost like you're dialing in. Oh, can I pick up, I'll have a large bliss, please. Yeah, rather, oh, phone signal can call a pizza. Well, that makes me feel good because I know the pizza's coming, so I'm not hungry anymore. Oh, I'm excited, it's giving me a frequency. Okay, well, I'm activating self-generated bliss, self-generated love, self-generated everything. So are you, to your master. So then you like dial into your own thing. You're like, bliss, please. Yeah, makes sense. Nice, isn't it? So yeah, obviously we go deeper on the program, and obviously I am hoping and encouraging you to join, because this is why you're here. This is the meaning of your life. This is like this stuff I'm saying now is minimal. Like it's the keys are what you're here to do, but actually doing it is another level. Do you know what I'm saying? Actually, to like confirm and clarify to yourself in every single moment, the confidence that you're like, I'm a conscious leader. I'm a light leader. I'm made of light, and I'm leading the revolution of light for humanity to free themselves from the condition and enslavement that they're not that. But because I perceive it as a beautiful game and there's no judgment in it whatsoever, and I love it all, and I don't perceive any dark, I perceive any light. Therefore, I follow my passion in the highest moment with no insistence, because I know that it's all good no matter what happens. However, I know the manifestations of what I want to happen is because I release the belief that it's all bad and there's something I need to do to pressurize it to happen. And instead, I realize I am already that. That's the path of the master. And that's not saying that that's actually limiting it to in this reality of humans, because just going a little bit further, like I channel star races who are in the cosmos, and they're actually passing on the teachings of what this means. Like the Buddha isn't dead. The Buddha transferred his energy somewhere else. The Buddha is channeling new information. Okay, like I'm part of that, and this is the reason you're here, to be part of this, to like walk into the ascended self. I could talk about the golden race, the humans of the golden race, but I won't get onto that. But we'll say that this is the reason you're here. If you're not activating your intuitive, magnetic, quantum vibration to change the world, rather than this physical protest and hurt, like someone's going to change the world by beating someone, it's like you can change the world more by changing your vibration, because this is an energy reality, and it's the conditioning that this isn't energy reality that's even got us into this place of like, why do you think the Queen's got so many crystals around her? Like, you gotta really perceive this. Why is there so much propaganda on fear and making people confused about different opinions? Because then it affects their vibration. Yeah, you got a strong foundational vibration, then you're going to be raising the vibration, you're going to be leading the vibration. and your vibration affects the whole planet. Yeah, because you are that, but it affects our cosmos, because guess what, your energy in the cosmos, and you are the cosmos. Yeah, ever unfolding the only moment now. Okay, cool. So then you bliss out. Yeah, key 11s, because you blissed out, because you're just like, I can call in whatever I want, I understand I'm master. And key 12 is you see through the eyes of source. Yeah, you self-mastery is source view. So that's an experience where obviously you're channeling your soul, your heart portal is open, source is the presence of all that is. The masters obviously talk about coming into presence, coming into now, coming into the oneness. You are that. Yeah, it's no concept. You're feeling multidimensional aspects of yourself. You're feeling the whole of earth. You're feeling human consciousness. You're feeling your soul. You're understanding you can feel the potential and the limitless nature of your cells, because you've gone into each fractal and you realize the percentage of the 99.99% space is quantum, and you can pull it all in, and you understand that there is no physicality, there is no time, because it's all happening now, but you actually experience it. It's not a concept that you're reading about, that you're craving to experience and hoping you do one day, and you're fine if you don't anyway, because like you're spiritual and it's cool and you're happy with where you're at. So I was definitely there. But when you like cross this merge and you follow these, and obviously in the program you use meditation, so you experience source view, God view anyway, each stage, because it's a deepening to a truth that already exists through you releasing the old views that it didn't. Yeah, but once you've gone through this process, you have activated every single channel to be like, oh, I am that. And it's a embodied experience from each cell, because each cell is obviously the DNA, the transmitter and the receiver. So you're receiving the information that you are, as well as transmitting the information that you are. But because it's a dualistic nature where you've aligned both your beliefs and your energy, you're receiving it all at once and transmitting it. And you're like, oh, the perspective of oneness is that it's happening at once. I am it. And then obviously you tune into collective consciousness, you can pass on messages, and you understand your role in it all, because you can tune into different options, like sit in the center of, let's say, Gaia, and see different timelines happening, feel the different energies, because you've activated that you are aware that you are that. Yeah, so the self-mastery is source view. And you can read that through yourself. So you'll perceive, as I am source, what do I now choose to feel, experience, believe? As I am source, who do I now resonate with being? As I am source, where do I now freely choose to explore within this cosmos? And you experience your multidimensional aspects, you experience your soul mission, you understand your purpose for being here, you start leading others, and you activate your contribution. Yeah, you would not then be you would be unable then to contribute to the consciousness, the accelerated evolution of humanity's consciousness, because you realize that what is consciousness? You are that. It's not like this is human consciousness. You're just like the human psyche is what you've come to help liberate. And any concept of the enlightened master's path of liberation is the human psyche. But really then you understand consciousness on a deeper level, because you understand it's all consciousness. And we were only able to penetrate into the human psyche to then get to the point now where we want to liberate the human psyche, because we understand that consciousness is more than a human. And there is no such thing as human, really. It's just a vessel of consciousness that we are limited within. But when you understand you are limitless energy within a vessel, then you actually get to experience that limitlessness, which is traveling to multidimensional realities, traveling the multiverse, understanding what the vessel of humans role is actually here. And I'll let you look into that yourself, of like 12 strand DNA plus, and that we're the golden race, and that we're the, how can we say, the nexus point. We're the neurons of Gaia. We're made of Gaia elements. So we're the neurons of Gaia. So we're her brain cells. So Gaia's ascending anyway, but I won't get into that, all that galactic visions yet, because this is obviously about path enlightenment, where you have to actually take the practice before being able to conceptualize further things, because you can conceptualize it and it helps. But if you're not on the path of one who's been neutral and observer, you just get twisted. You'll just be like, yeah, but how? And it's just like, dude, just stick to the practice, because that's why it was taught. so that you can accept when someone goes, yeah, aliens exist and they're coming to help, because that's been the plan for the whole time. You're like, well, I'm just going to observe. Pretty exciting. No judgment. Why would I? Two sides is not two sides. There's always all sides. So that's one side. And until, you know, you can judge it or whatever, but, you know, you're not going to judge it. You'll just go, oh, that's your perspective. And then you might have your own experience and you're like, oh, that just happened to me as well. Okay, this is now my perspective. And until someone goes on an actual experience of higher perspectives, they have no opinion on higher perspectives. They're still conceptualizing it and can just have an opinion and a debate on it, but no one that's actually higher experiences of higher dimensions and higher concepts even does debate, because they know that that person doesn't even have the experience. So it's just like, you're debating against the reflection, but I've embodied the reflection, therefore I will not react anyway. But I know that you don't know. I know that you still want to think this is a debate. You see what I'm saying? So it's amazing. So the journey goes deeper. The journey goes much deeper. So how about that? 12 keys of mastery for your enlightened journey. And journeying with me allows you to open up to your multidimensionality, allows you to open your heart portal. It allows you to actually become the embodied experience of an enlightened master. It's actually about embodiment. It's actually about changing yourself, change the world, but not changing anything about the world, because you realize that if you change yourself, you have changed the world. And it's not a concept, it's a vibrational embodied experience which changes the entire cosmos. And that's why you came here. That's literally why you came here. Okay, so I want to thank you all for sitting with me. I hope that has like rocked your world, changed your life, and you're going to go through that formula anytime you come out of alignment, which could be every single second of the day. So that process is what I would automatically do in a split second, because I've embodied it. So that's why I've laid out the framework. Okay, so you'll right now be like, okay, number one, I'm here to love myself. Okay, so what can I do to love myself? And you'll be like so super pumped to do that. Like, even if you've just done that for the rest of your life, you become enlightened, because it's already a key. Yeah, it's a key to unlock something to the next. Even if you just activate the power of choice, limitlessness, you're already source God. I have limitless choice of what I want to do. Yeah, they all activate your source consciousness. But then using them like that actually just flows the vibration, so you're just like, whoa, I'm actually enlightened as experience, embodied experience. Okay, so thank you for joining me on this webinar. But what I really want you to do is join the program. Okay, I really want you to join the program. So on each of those concepts, it'll be a live training, or maybe not live if this is later. So a pre-recorded training that's probably held live, which is like deep on each. So let's say like an hour on each with a meditation, which is a channeled activation from my soul, maybe some star races, guiding you on these concepts to embody yourself and then impact the cosmos. Yeah, so this is for you to enjoy this webinar and put the processes into play for yourself, but to actually go on that deeper transformation where I'm with you, listening to your beliefs, listening to your struggle, helping you coach through each process, because you know it's a more longer and purposeful journey, to know that you have a guru, have a master, because you're just wanting to reflect, have the reflection that you understand you are the master, but you yet don't feel confident to say it. Yeah, you might be like, oh no, I've got other things going on. It's like, what else do you have going on that this isn't going to impact? This is going to change your life, change your family's life, change your friend's life, everything. It's going to change your community, change society, change the world. But everything that you prioritize above your self-mastery, I got to ask you, is that a belief that's been conditioned and programmed into you? Or is that truly what you believe? That there is something that's more than self-mastery? If it's like, oh, I'm a mum, it's like, yeah, motherhood is self-mastery. I have a child, I have a daughter, I'm a single mum. My spiritual practice, my consciousness, my ascension, my mentoring, my channeling, my spiritual evolution, my self-enlightenment is the same practice as being a mum. If you go to a job you don't like, I used to go to a job that I don't like, my practice was being able to be there and hold compassion and non-judgment about myself, and about what everyone was doing, rather than going, why are they drinking Coke? This world is fucked. So it was just like non-judgment, compassion, excitement for me doing what I love. I'm happy that they're happy. That was me and my customer service roles. I'm happy that they're just happy. I'm happy they're happy. You know, I'm happy they're happy. That's how I got through 10 years of customer service, minimum paid jobs. Yeah. So anything you're doing that makes you say, no, I don't need to be on that program, it's just like, I just want to ask, like, what belief is getting in the way of you joining this? You're like, oh, I don't have the money. It's just like, dude, what are you spending your money on? Yeah, that perhaps isn't benefiting you as much as this would. And how much more money would you manifest from this program, from releasing the belief that you don't have money? Because money is energy. Yeah, money is energy. So this program helps you in every single area of your life take it deeper to release the beliefs of the conditioning so you actually progress and manifest pure abundance further than you could imagine, because your soul would intuitively tell you you're limitless, babe. Yeah. So if any of you are sitting there thinking, oh, I'll save up or something like that, or no, I don't need it, I'll go it alone, or I don't have the time, energy, or money, you're kind of missing the point, because this whole thing is saying that we're releasing time, we're claiming that we are energy, and we're claiming that and we're able to manifest because we release our beliefs. We're not able to manifest through trying to make something. You don't actually make money. Yeah, you believe that you're going to get paid at this certain time and date, and therefore it happens. You don't believe you're going to get any more because that's how much you get, so you don't get any more. Okay, it's that kind of stuff. So time, energy, money, there is no time. You are made of energy, and money you don't make. You manifest more abundance through believing you are abundant, through releasing the beliefs of all the conditioning that say that you won't. Okay, so my name's Emily Jackman, Ascension Mentor. I really want you to jump on this program. Thank you so much for being here with me. Email me or just go buy the program. Cool. Love you so much. Mwah! Your source. I am all that is, and so are you. Peace. Bye.